Hey, wrestling fans, welcome to the One Wing Wrestling Podcast, where we help you navigate the complex world of pro wrestling, bringing you the best matches, world class wrestlers, and news you can count on. At One Wing Wrestling, we bring the elite to you. I'm your host, Krishna and join me as always is Mr. Bill Cutbush. Bill, how's it going?
You nailed that one, dude.
Right? Right?
I'm straight. Good stuff. Cool. Well, I am currently warming up from my walk. So other than that, I'm pretty great. That was a
Oh,
lot of wrestling this week.
it
So
was wrestling packed weekend, like non stop. Actually, just finished a match before I jumped on. Wow, well, what a wrestling packed weekend. Jesus. But hey,
yep,
it was fun. It was fun.
it was a hell of a lot of fun. And it's not over because I'm still waiting for them to put up the Saturday Stardom event on Stardom
Ooh.
World so I can check that one out too. So because of course they spoiled a couple of the results during the New Japan Stardom crossover. But thanks, guys. Thanks. I needed to know that one match went to a draw. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, yeah. So I'm looking forward to watching that later this week. I've got. Anyway, we'll get into it during the news. I'm not going to spoil.
Hmm.
Let's do the news right now. But anyway, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Do you want to get into it?
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, first off, we're going to do our news as usual, but we're going to do the news from the point of view of an old phrase you may have heard on here before, keeping up with the elite. Because boy, do we have a lot of elite news for you. So, and by the elite this case, we actually mean Kenny Omega, the Bucks, and Brandon Cutler, because he's still part of the elite. Anyway,
Fine. Then we may as well add Michael Nakazawa in there as well.
100%, yes. And you're tossing Don Callis while
And
you're at
Don
it.
Callis and
Yeah.
Don Callis,
Yeah,
yes.
it would be like saying Gideon Gray isn't part of the United Empire, right? Because he
I was
is.
I was wondering who that knockoff wannabe Don Callis was. I was gonna ask you that question earlier. Sorry, to today, but we can get into that later.
He's richer than Don Callis. Okay.
Knockoff Don
Okay.
Callis, wannabe
Anyway,
knockoff Don
well, we're going to get
Callis.
into it very soon, quite honestly, because the first piece of news we've got is the biggest piece of news coming out of the entire weekend. No matter what you want to say about this weekend, no matter some dude named MJF winning a title, who cares? I mean, we've got. Well, I do care about the first IWGP Women's Champion, but there's just a lot of news that happened on the weekend. This
Mm.
beats it all because after Will Ospreay and Shoto Umino had a match that I will be discussing later,
Mhm.
maybe we'll be discussing later if you've seen it. After the match, Kevin Kelly noted beating Will Ospreay is bigger than winning that belt. There is only one Will Ospreay. And just after that, the United Empire was in the ring. Gideon Gray gets the mic and he says, "What did you expect? Is there anybody out there that doesn't know?" And he goes, "And allow me to present to you then the greatest wrestler of all time, Will Ospreay." And the whole place goes dark. And on the screen, we get Kenny Omega, mirrored shades on a throne, looking cool as hell,
Hell
and
yeah.
says in Japanese, "It's been a long time, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, why do you think I'm here? Once AEW was built, nothing was keeping me in New Japan, so I had to be replaced. And just who was that replacement? Oh, it just had to be the masterful William Ospreay. And how did that turn out? Take a look. The crowds have gotten smaller. We can't hear them cheering. Oh, but that's because of the pandemic. That's the line you trot out, right? But is it really? You see, there's only one real virus here, and that's you, Will. You and all your auto translate loving foreign pals. All of you are second rate Kenny Omega knockoffs. I have to say, I was surprised to get the phone call from NJPW, and to be honest, I'm really not interested. But one more time, for the fans, for the good of pro wrestling, I'll show you what separates Kenny Omega from a Will Ospreay. Then he switches over to English. I will save the promotion. I will once again change the world. I haven't forgotten what you've done, and I'm coming for you. Wrestle Kingdom will. I'll be there. Until then, I must bid you adieu. Goodbye. Good night. Bang. And he disappears. Will takes the mic and says, "The way I see it, he left and I stayed. I stayed when it got bad and I kept the heartbeat going. So if you want to come back, be my guest. Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, Wrestle Kingdom." and the announcers sell this, that this match is way bigger than any title, this match is history.
I would say so. I would agree with the announcers on this one. Kenny Omega, we watched the return this week of the best bat machine, the god of professional wrestling, as Don Callis pointed out. And I thought to myself, what a Omega level return, what a Omega level match. I'm like, there's no way anything can get close to topping these things. When Kenny Omega showed up in New Japan via video, what an episode. What an epic video. Holy crap. The music, the way he actually performed. Oh my, chills throughout. And at the ending, I didn't forget what you did, Will. I'm coming after you. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Right?
Yep.
I was like, oh my God. I was speechless. This was such a well done promo. Because I watched the New Japan match today. I watched Umino versus Ospreay. And it's funny. One of my comments I was gonna make was, "Wow, the Japanese fans are well subdued. They're very calm. There's clapping politely and stuff like that. Unlike us Westerners who go nuts when we see stuff happen."
Do you understand why that's the case?
Is it because of pandemic?
Yeah, they're not allowed to cheer.
I know that,
now.
and I know that.
Yeah.
And so they mentioned that before they're not allowed to cheer. And I watched it and I was like, this is so interesting because it's so weird because it's almost as if these guys are performing at a performance center because it's so like there's no noise, right? Literally the announcers are there going crazy. And it's them. But then this promo hits and I'm just speechless. And first of all, I saw this promo yesterday before I even watched the match, right? I had gone online for something and I was looking at, I literally just typed in Kenny Omega on YouTube and this thing popped up and I was like, why is Kenny Omega in New Japan? What the heck is going on right now?
The dude just goes to YouTube and types in Kenny Omega on a regular basis.
Yeah, I do. Hey, Kenny Omega's my guy. I'll type in Kenny Omega. I'll just Google Kenny Omega on a daily basis if I have to. It. And I looked at it and I was like, wait a minute, this was like 4 hours ago that New Japan put this up. I was like, what's going on? Clicked on it, and it starts off with you see Will Ospreay on the shoulders of the New Night Empire. And then the audience or the arena goes black, and you see the Kenny. I was like, "Oh my God!" Wrestle Kingdom 17, Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay. This is hell yeah! What belt? Who cares about a belt?
So what are we watching January 4th now, Krishna?
So I'm watching Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. I'm not even calling it Wrestle Kingdom 17. I'm watching Kenny Omega versus. Sorry, I should say I'm watching Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega, okay? Because there's only one Omega. And you know what? You want to give me a best out of 7 for this? I'm okay with that. Okay, I don't need a best out of 7 for anything else.
That. There's no way this is going to be their one and only match.
Oh, 100%. This is the New Japan match.
Oh yeah, exactly. The next one will be an AEW.
Exactly.
Yep.
So
exactly.
Listen, I still remember when Kenny Omega cut that promo on Jon Moxley when Jon Moxley got injured. And it was so awesome and so simple. Same thing. His presence, his aura, just the way he carries himself. He's still that bad guy in New Japan. He's coming to save New Japan's promotion. He's still going to change the world. I'm like, man, you were perfect. I loved every second of this promo.
Me too. It was a great promo. It did exactly what it needs to do. But I got to tell you, man, my heart's kind of with the United Empire. I don't know if it's just that the Elite was gone for a little while and they left a bit of a void that my excursion filled with the United Empire. But I love the Elite to death. Don't get me wrong, but I love the United Empire to death too. And Will Ospreay, he's like the 1B to the 1A, like we were commenting. If there's the Trinity of wrestling, Kenny Omega's God, Will Ospreay's Jesus. So sorry for blaspheming for those of you out there who may be offended. Okay, maybe not sorry. But anyway, sorry about that, guys. I didn't mean to blaspheme on radio, but Kenny Omega's God, Will Ospreay's Jesus.
He's so good.
Yeah, so this match, one, I don't care who wins. Like, I really don't.
Same.
Because there's going to be another match and someone else will win that one. It's not like that really matters. I want the story.
Mm-hmm.
I want the epic story these guys are going to tell. You have two masterful storytellers in the ring. You have two of the best wrestlers that have ever walked the face of the planet in the ring. And they're going to go at it at Wrestle Kingdom. And they're not even going to be the main event because the main
No.
event will be Kazuchika Okada versus Jay White.
Yes, you're correct.
Yes.
I nothing stopped me from watching these two guys. Like no offense to anyone and like who loves New Japan and stuff like that. I like New Japan. I really do. I don't care about anything but this match. Like honestly, like wake me up when this match begins because I am so hyped right now. Like, does anything really, even AEW wise, even measure up close to what we're gonna get with these two guys?
Well,
Like from now till then? No. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say no, nothing. So, whew, Alpha and the
well,
Omega.
yeah, no, exactly. This is going to be, it's funny. It's going to be January 4th. Will we already have the 2023 match of the year?
Probably. Probably. It's funny. I'm looking at the calendar. January 4th is a
Oh,
Wednesday.
I know. This was already talked about, right?
Ah,
Dynamite
okay.
is that night. FTR. But here's what you're saying. Oh, the rest of the New Japan card, blah, blah, blah. I don't really care about the rest of the card. I only want to watch this match. Here's where you're wrong.
Okay, let me
FTR will
hear.
be defending their titles on
Okay.
that show.
Okay.
Probably, well, it'll be against the winner of the Japan Tag League, which is going on right now. The winner could very well be Aussie Open. That
Interesting.
match, it's not going to be Ospreay Omega, but it's going to kick ass. Okay. There's going to be some good stuff on this. Trust me on that. There are some very good wrestlers that are going to be having some very good matches on this Wrestle Kingdom. And as we'll discuss later, we're getting a women's IWGP title defense there as
Championship.
well. So, which I can't see that being anything but great either, but we'll get there when we get there
Yeah,
because
and
this
as I
is
said,
hanging out with the elite.
no offense to IWGP. Like I said, it's great wrestling. All I'm saying is, or New Japan, I should say. All I'm saying is, there's one Omega, and he's coming to New Japan. And he's coming to New Japan. Will Ospreay, watch your back. He's coming after you. That's all I'm gonna say.
Kenny better not get too cocky.
I mean, me and Kenny have gotten so cocky right now. This may as well be the Kenny Omega versus Pac match all over again. But like, Will, come on, William. Okay. That's why you like Will Ospreay so much. You guys have the same name. I know,
We
I
have the
get it. I
same
see where this is coming from.
name.
You know what?
Yeah.
My name starts with a K as well. So me and my boy Kenny, we got this. All right.
There you go. There you go. Crowns up, my friend. Crowns up. Oh, this is going to be a fun build to this because we're going to be arguing on the show too.
I'm not saying Kenny Omega is gonna win. I'm just saying
He's not. So
he's
I'm
the
glad you're
god of
acknowledging that
he's
already.
I'm not saying he's gonna win. I'm just
That's
saying
one
he's the
thing.
god of he's the god of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Will Ospreay should just bow down and respect that, but he probably should. So we'll see.
Yeah.
As the
Why
closer we get, we'll
why
see.
would the goat of wrestling bow down to Kenny Omega? I don't understand.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I made a comment the other night that Kenny Omega is in great shape right now.
He really
This
is. He
guy,
really
holy
is.
cow.
Yep.
Like, I'm excited. I am so excited to see what these two do.
Yep.
It's a
Oh yeah, I
match
know.
for the
That's
ages.
that whole Wrestle Kingdom now. It's just looking so great, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
So,
understand what the other pay-per-views are going to do in comparison to that now.
well, I mean, Wrestle Kingdom is New Japan's WrestleMania essentially,
Yeah, fair
right?
enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, I mean, it's going to be, and this time they're going to have cheering fans. The fans will be allowed to cheer by then at the Tokyo Dome, and they're doing it on one night again.
So Kenny
So,
Omega's going to say that he's the reason the fans are cheering.
100% he's going to say he's the reason the fans are cheering. I thought of that the
Oh,
second he cut that
I
promo.
love
I'm like,
Kenny.
this is brilliant. And I love the whole bit, but is it though?
Oh, Kenny, you're so good.
I know his promo was amazing. In terms of promos, it's Kenny 1, Will 0. So,
Oh,
yes.
ooh.
But yes. But in the meantime, we are going to have a number of really great matches because, as we noted when we did our review of Full Gear, there will be a best of 7 series, with that being match 1 at Full Gear. So there's 6 matches left.
6 more, yeah.
Yep. Best of 7 between the Elite and Death Triangle for the AEW World Trios Championship. Now, Meltzer has noted that the best of 7 is not for the championship every match. Someone has to win 4 matches to win the title. So it looks like we're going to end up getting 3-3, and then of course we'll have to
Yeah,
have the
of
fourth because I mean,
course.
what are they going to do? Best of 7? It's only 4 matches long.
Yeah. If someone's
Really?
gonna win all four, and
Yeah.
then their team, yeah, we
Well,
know what's gonna happen.
well,
Three
you
to
remember
three.
when we said fight forever during the
Yep,
match? Yeah, yeah. Well, they're going to fight
they're
forever
going to
now.
fight forever.
So we got what we asked for. We asked for them to fight forever. They're going to fight forever. It was so funny too because I was listening to Meltzer and Brian Alvarez today,
Yeah.
and Brian Alvarez says, well, what are these guys going to do though for every match? How are they going to change up? And Meltzer goes, it doesn't matter. So
And
yeah,
they're both not wrong.
no,
They're
exactly.
both not wrong, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, what's gonna keep it fresh and new?
Mm-hmm.
And then part of me is kind of like, but it's these guys, right?
Yeah,
It's these six
exactly. It's
guys.
these 6 guys. One, there will be something different every match.
Mhm,
Someone
mhm.
different can go over in each match and blah blah blah, right? We're gonna get different and longer pairings at different times. We're gonna get to see different matchups. Um, we're gonna get to see these guys probably pull out moves they haven't done in a long
Yeah,
time. They're probably gonna be innovative. What if they decide one match is gonna be like a ladder match or something
yeah.
like
I was
that?
thinking the same thing. Yeah,
Or they could do almost anything they wanted to with these. I mean, we'll have to find out. I can't wait to see what they do with the first one on Wednesday. But I mean, again, Dynamite Wednesday is going to be about one match again. It's
I
going to
know.
be Death Triangle versus the Elite 2. And I'm like, okay, this is great. I can't wait for this match now because anything involving the Elite, anything involving Death Triangle, put them together and it's like, I'm there.
Yeah, it's like, you know, these guys. It's you're right. It's going to be like three v three. Doesn't matter. These guys are gonna do whatever they need to do. It's going to be who knows what kind of matches it's gonna be, right? Who
Mhm.
knows? It's just that it's like the elite said, "Hey, Tony, we were off for 2 months, not doing anything. We are
Mhm.
well rested. We want 7 matches now against the Death Triangle.
Exactly.
We need to make up
And
for time,
and
okay?"
Death Triangle's probably like, well, thanks. We haven't exactly been on TV a hell of a lot since you guys
It's
left. Let's
it's
do
true.
it.
It's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, and it's good. Like I trust these matches are not going to be anything below spectacular anyways.
Hmm.
But I'm very curious, like how are they going to make it fresh every time? Like, right? And
Yes.
I'm assuming it is going to be like one win, like one person wins, then the next person wins.
Yep.
But they should change it up in terms of like, oh, maybe one team should win twice, and the other team wins once, and the other team should win like do like an actual best out of 7 series, right? Make it feel
Right.
like it's actually, oh my god, they could win the next match and win the belt, and then go
Right.
right.
Well, you know what
Um,
they should do is they should have Death Triangle go up 3-0. And then they pretend they're the Toronto Maple Leafs and they choke
and they
out
collapse.
totally. Yeah, they can just be like, the Leafs are our heroes, and we're going to act just like the Toronto Maple Leafs, and we're going to choke out totally and lose 4 in a row.
Ooh, the question for you now, Bill,
Hmm.
is Mr. William Ospreay and the United Empire going to cost the Elite any of these matches? Are the I was going to say the Black Triangle, are the House of Black going to return at any point and start up? Because
Hmm.
there will need to be
Yes.
feuds after this, right? Speaking
Yep.
of also like I didn't know I totally forgot about this. I'll talk about this after. Is that I forgot that Matt Hardy and Private Party are still kind of like a trios team. They're
Oh
still wrestling.
yeah.
Right, we have the trios teams.
Oh, we have so
Do
many
something with
trios
these
teams.
guys.
I know.
Right, so yeah, I'm excited for the regardless. I'm excited for the best out of 7 series. I'm just hoping that it doesn't get stale anyway, because then that's going to be the biggest disappointment. If I come
Right.
out of a match saying, "Oh, that was good," then I will be disappointed.
Well, there's going to be some of the matches that are better than others,
Yeah,
right? But I mean,
obviously, yeah.
we can talk more about this later with the Will Ospreay Shoto
Mhm.
Umino match, right? You're going to have some matches that are just simply better than others,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
okay
that's okay.
because it's funny because we've set a certain standard for the Elite and Death Triangle. I'll bet you money right now the worst match they have out of these 7 is still one
Mhm.
of the best matches you'll see in an
Probably,
AEW ring this year,
probably.
right? And we'll
Yep.
be sitting there going, "Oh, that wasn't as good as their other ones." But then step
But
back a moment and go compare it to almost anything else,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I will bet a lot of money that it will beat it.
yep.
So yeah.
I agree with that.
And hey, that means we're also going to get to hear Carry On Wayward Son a lot more because apparently Tony Khan, was it Tony Khan that clarified but Dave Meltzer's clarified further that
Mhm.
that's going to be their theme music in all likelihood when they come out as a trios. They'll still be using their normal themes when they come out
Singles.
individually, but
Yeah.
when they come out as a trios, it'll be Carry On Wayward Son.
You know, um, I sent that entrance to like 10 people yesterday.
Oh
So I said,
yeah.
guys, you got to check out this entrance. You have to. And most of them are obviously Supernatural fans, right?
Mhm.
And then I read Kenny's Twitter message today, and he said that he was a fan of Supernatural. It's a dream for him to have this song. Fan of Supernatural. He used to listen to
Mhm.
it when he was younger with his dad, and I was like, this guy is so awesome. I mean, this guy, it's Kenny Omega. If you're listening, we need to be best friends. Like seriously, we do. But like this is such a great song because it does bring up those like it makes sense like the wayward sons have returned and it's just it's as you said it's Kansas's best song, right?
Mhm.
And it just sparks up all those memories of like Supernatural for all those years, and I'm like, what could you have asked for something better? And I was like, no, I couldn't.
No.
And I just loved it. And the fact that they're singing along with it, the fans are singing along with it. It's like Jericho song. Everyone's just into it.
Mhm. Right.
Right.
And yes, it will be one that I sing along too, because it's Carry
Mhm.
On Wayward Son, and it was
Oh
stuck in
yeah.
my head the entire night after I got home
Yeah.
from watching the pay-per-view. So here's I'm stealing Denai's dirt sheet from you for a minute, because we don't have a Denai's dirt sheet today, because quite frankly the news this week is just basically about the Elite and New Japan and stuff, so we have nothing really to talk about there. But the one thing I heard that I'm like, this is Denai dirt sheet worthy, was that they chose that song because the lyrics were a shot at CM Punk.
What exactly was a shot at CM Punk there?
There'll be peace when you are done. So people were reading into the lyrics and assuming the Elite were sending. See, I'm not kidding. This is complete garbage, because the Elite have been wanting. Matt and Nick have been wanting to use the song for the theme song before
Hmm.
CM Punk was
Yeah.
even in AEW.
Yeah.
So this has, and I just want to debunk this for anybody listening. This is ridiculous. And if anyone is buying that this song was in any way or any shape and form to do with anything to do with that stupid backstage segment thing that we have promised we would never talk about
Hmm.
again, and I find myself talking about it again, forget it, guys. Forget it. Dumb, stupid. This song is there because these guys love the song. The Bucks have talked about listening to it with their dad too, and it was the kind of
Yeah.
music they grew up with. Kenny watched Supernatural. I mean, look, this song is awesome. It is amazing, and it fits them perfectly when they come out together.
Yep.
So I will enjoy it more than any other theme song in the entire company.
Quick question for you. Did you see the Elite t-shirt that they released?
The one that
So
just has the E on it.
yeah, yeah. So listen, I do love the fact that I love the kind of like Thanos snapped away and then they're coming back and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I loved all those promos and stuff like that. Then look at that t-shirt. I'm like, there's in art there's a problem with like when they say a lot of blank space. You have
Mm-hmm.
to fill it. The t-shirt just looks weird. It actually the way I wanted to describe the t-shirt, it looks as if someone put it in the wash and the
Mm-hmm.
two letters that are supposed to be there, the A and the W, were washed off. Right? It just looks lazy. Right?
Oh,
So I
no.
get what you're trying to do, AEW. Like you may as well, but not a t-shirt I'm gonna get. Like I
Well,
love the Elite, but not a
guys,
t-shirt I'm gonna get.
but seriously, I mean, the Elite, they're guys, do them a solid. They're hurting for merchandise money. These guys never sell t-shirts. It's Christmas time. I mean, they're bringing out a new shirt at Christmas time. Clearly, they didn't understand that they're not going to sell shirts at Christmas time. No one wants to buy gifts at Christmas time. And clearly, the Elite's hurting for cash. If you want to help them pick
If
up
you want
the
to help them
shirt,
out, help them out.
help
Such
them
an
out.
ugly shirt,
do
but
do
yeah, if
them
you
a
want to help them
solid.
out.
Do them a solid, man. Oh yeah, and of course, speaking of doing people a solid, they're doing us a solid by returning being the Elite tomorrow. I cannot
Actually,
wait.
being the lead was released today, Bill.
Ooh, I missed it. I
No,
thought
it's
they
all good.
said Tuesday.
No, I thought I read Tuesday as well, but then Matt Jackson on his Instagram account said
Hmm.
being the lead released at 12 p.m. Eastern,
Right,
and I was like, today? And I checked it out. I didn't see the whole thing.
right.
But yeah, they released a new episode of Being the Lead.
Oh,
Don't worry, they're not talking about anything related to you know what.
oh,
But
for God's sake, I
but
hope not. I hope they just
but
have fun.
it's no, it's fun. Like, I haven't seen the entire episode, but it
Hmm.
starts off with them getting dressed in their car for the event because Brandon Cutler didn't realize there was a green room inside the center, so he thought so they this is legit. They got ready inside their car.
Arr. Oh, that's awesome.
And
Go
then Matt's
Brandon.
kind of like, well, Brandon didn't realize there was an actual green room here for this. And then they kind of they start doing all the other promos and the Dark Order. They're like, they start talking about the past 7 weeks. They're like, yeah, no, all the funny stuff we've done. And Brandon Cutler's like, guys, we haven't been filming the Being the Elite for the past 7 weeks. I wasn't following you guys around. I wasn't recording anything. They're like, wait, you didn't record anything that we did? The Dark Order, they're so ridiculous. Right? But no, I'm also glad Being the Elite's back. It's about time.
Yep.
Things are
Yep.
back to normal.
They are.
Things feel good.
They are. Things are even looking up in some cases because in other news, Konosuke Takeshita, as we mentioned briefly after the pay-per-view, he has signed with AEW now. He is all elite.
I'm happy. I'm happy that there are a couple of signings recently. I was like, first of all, I'm like, who cares about Jeff Jarrett? But I mean, like when Tony Khan offered AR Fox his contract, and then as we were getting food on Sunday night, I was like, Bill, did you see this? That Konosuke Takeshita is all elite? What the hell? And we were happy. This is amazing. This guy. I'm gonna say I've never seen him put on a bad match. I don't know if he's capable of it. I'm pretty sure he tried to fall. He won't, right?
Yeah.
He's so good. He's so young. This is someone AEW can build on. This guy, his size, like this is a guy Vince McMahon would have loved to have. He's big, but he's athletic. This guy can move. Like he basically can wrestle any type of wrestling. You want a hard hitting? Sure. You want a high flying? Sure. This guy has got it. He's so good. And I'm so happy that AEW signed him.
Yep, me too. No, I just want him in a tag team with Bandito, and they can go
Oh
for
my
belts.
God. Oh
I know.
my
Could
goodness.
you imagine?
Oh,
can we?
Bill, just one thing that I think you're gonna like. Just sorry to cut you off there. Something has popped on my phone, and they had mentioned your boy John Moxley, and they said John Moxley just broke a record in the AEW, and I was like, what? Even though he lost his belts because he kept it for that extra day. He actually broke Kenny Omega's title reign for longest champion.
Oh,
so
wow.
John Moxley consecutively has had the belt for 347 days.
Oh, wow.
Kenny 346. I was like, wow, you know what? I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at that either because, although we both love Kenny Omega, although I think you are in love with Kenny Omega.
Wait. Aren't we all in love with Kenny Omega?
Okay, Curtin. Okay. Well, speaking of more AEW stuff, we have an AEW Roundup for you today.
Ooh. Sweet. So let me get my notes on the AEW Roundup. I have a couple matches I want everyone to check out. So this is a combination of Dark, Elevation, and Rampage. Right? I know I had to bring in Rampage for something here. But I gave like an honorable mention. Again, not fully a match I love, but I loved a lot about this match. So let's start off. First off, let's go back to Dark. Well, actually, a lot of this is from Dark, not really Elevation. Dark. Some matches to check out. Leon, I think his name is Leon Ruffin, but anyways, it's versus Daniel Garcia for the Ring of Honor Pure Champion. Now, this I thought was going to be a squash match, like really, because I haven't seen Garcia wrestle in a long time. I really want to know what he did because he's totally out of like anything with the JS right now. But anyways, it was a good match. Like Garcia just totally playing Ruffin like he was the better wrestler, which he is. But I mean, like totally like like when they get someone down and kind of like slap them across the head and so doing all that stuff, totally working the heel. Now Ruffin got some shots in at some points to reverse a lot of the things that Garcia was throwing on him, but by the end, Garcia gets the pin. Garcia wins with a submission that looked really painful. Like that's one thing I got to give Danny Garcia. Like when he puts on these submissions, this guy makes it look like it hurts. So tap Danny Garcia, check it out. Another match that I think everyone should check out.
I'm just going to interrupt you real fast because I want to talk to you a bit about Leon Rupp.
Okay.
Did you know he was trained by AR Fox?
Was he really?
Yes,
Did they mention that? Did I totally missed that? That kind of
he was trained by AR Fox, and he spent a lot of time in WWE and actually had a feud with Swerve Strickland when they were both in NXT.
Ooh.
So there you go.
Ooh.
Anyway, Please continue.
So next up, I actually have a match again from Dark. Matt Hardy, and I mentioned this earlier to do today. Matt Hardy and Private Party. These guys are still a a tag team versus Smiley Fairchild, Channing Thomas, and Kyle Bradley. No, these guys were not just thrown together. Come on. But again, another match I thought was going to be a squash match. It was faster than I thought it was going to be. But overall, you really forget how good Private Party is. Matt Hardy, he's getting up there in age and he's working well with these two youngsters. Private Party is so good. Did we forget the Private Party beat the Bucks? Did we forget this, AEW? I think we forgot this, right?
We did forget that, yes. Right?
So let's remember that, okay? Like these guys are good. Get them back on TV. They are trios. Who knows? If you want, let them have a little feud with the House of Black, because they're total goofballs, and the House of Black are so serious about everything. So let them have something. But anyways, it was a pretty good match. Also, I wanted to just quick shout out to Athena and Kayla Sparks. Athena is totally embracing this like bad, like just I'm gonna like do my best to hurt my opponent kind of thing. Yeah. I like it. I really like it. Like put a belt on her. This match, again, hard hitting to the point where Athena beats her down, puts her into a submission, wins, and then gives her her finisher after as well. I was like, holy crap. She's like just vicious. So again, if you have a chance, check out these couple of matches on Dark. But the one match on Dark that you have to check out is the main event. As Bill just pointed out, AR Fox, right, is now on in AEW. And Serpentico. They have
Serpentico.
The knight himself. The knighted Serpentico. Yes. Quickly, did you know that Serpentico actually wrestles maskless sometimes for AEW?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I found out just recently. Yeah. But yeah, he wrestles maskless on Dark. But great match, as you could imagine. Like some of the stuff AR Fox does, and good putting him with Serpentico because he can move as well. But my God, I can't even describe it. You have to watch this match because it's just AR Fox. You're kind of like, how do you move like that? How are you doing these things? Right? Great match, fast, fun, like my style of match. So if anyone has a chance to check it out, I fully would say go ahead, check out this match over the next match. But I want to give props to this, my last match that I want to recap quickly on Rampage. And I'm giving a big shout out to Eddie Kingston and Ortiz versus Takeshita and Jun Akiyama. It was nice seeing Akiyama get the win because he does like a kind of Kenny Omega knee into like another Kenny Omega move. And I was like, wait a minute, Kenny, did you take Jun Akiyama's moves? Right? It kind of makes sense, right? But like watching Kingston kind of playing the heel, it was weird because I was like, Kingston is interfering. He's like jumping in when he's not supposed to be in there, trying to get into the match. But obviously I had to give this match a shout out because Takeshita was in it, and this guy is just, again, so awesome. If you want to see Takeshita start wrestling again, check out this match. It's on Rampage. You don't really need to watch anything else. You can watch this match on Rampage. But it's
this is not a ringing endorsement for Rampage this week.
No, I know. Well, they had the sparks in the other match, but I mean, but like, I mean, if you want to check one thing out of Rampage, check out this match. It was well done, and you could tell Eddie Kingston's having the time of his life.
Yeah,
time of his life, and I think it's owed to him now. So yeah, that's my recap for AEW last week.
Nice.
Last week.
Nice.
So check out those matches, everyone.
That sounds like a good idea. I will check out a couple. I had not seen those matches yet this week because I was busy watching a bunch of stuff on Excursion in Japan. Because it's like there's tag leagues on right now. Now I've got 2 tag leagues to follow. I'll make that 3 tag leagues to follow. I'm just gonna go dig a big hole in the ground and go live in it for the next like month, okay? Because that's pretty much all I'm gonna be doing is watching tag team wrestling from Japan. But good thing I love tag team wrestling from Japan. So New Japan and Stardom had their crossover event on November the 19th from Ariake Arena. This was the first big pay-per-view crossover between Stardom and New Japan, both of whom are now owned by Bushiroad. There were 11 matches on the card. I'm not going to go through all of them. That would take way too long. And many multi-person matches, which don't generally give enough time for people to truly shine, but there was definitely some good wrestling and fun spots. I'll give you some highlights. Leo Rush made an appearance teaming with Chaos in an 8-man match. He is actually teaming with Yo as part of the Junior Tag League tournament that's going on right now. They put
Okay.
on a really good show. He looked good. So
Okay.
I look forward to seeing their tag team because he is a crazy good wrestler.
He is.
You
Yeah.
know?
Just weird. I don't know.
Yeah. It's we'll find out what happens, but I'm interested in watching his matches. We
Yeah.
did
Same.
have Queen's Quest, Azumi, Lady C, and Saya Kamatani taking on Donna Del Mondo, Himeka, Mai Sakurai, and Tekla, which really made me want to see an Azumi versus Tekla match. Remember, I was
Okay. Okay.
commenting that about the Smash event that Nikita was kind of like a not as good Tekla.
Mhm.
Yeah, there was a spot in this match. They just had a couple moments, and they were so fast. I could not believe the speed these two were moving. But anyway, Saya hit a 450 on Mai for the win in that match. She did not use her Phoenix Splash, and now they're telling the story of she may be scared to use the Phoenix Splash after what it did to Mina
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Shirakawa.
She
Yeah,
broke her
her
mouth.
face. Yeah, so she used a 450 to beat Mai.
Okay.
And it was a picture perfect 450. I would recommend seeing this match, especially if you're not familiar with these women, just to kind of get a taste of what they're all about. Shuri and Tom Lawler versus Julia and Zack Sabre Jr. It was not as good as I'd hoped. There was a great spot where Tom Lawler, Julia and Shuri were going at it, like pounding each other back and forth. Lawler stepped in and told Julia to stop, and the women turned on him. They both beat him down and tossed him out. There was kind of an ongoing story in this entire pay-per-view where the women were a little bit upset that the rules made it so they couldn't fight the men. They thought it
Oh,
was an
okay.
insult. Right? They're like, "What? We can't fight the guys?" And this
I like
really
that.
became apparent in
I like
another
that.
match. So Tom Lawler's quite good at the ground game and holds. Zack Sabre Jr. won with an innovative jackknife pin. Like that's all I could call it. I'm like, how does he do this stuff? Shuri and Julia really didn't do too much in this match. They had a stare down at the end. The match is watchable. But I really wanted more out of this match and I didn't
Mm.
get it. So
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
it was okay. It was okay. Momo Watanabe and Starlight Kid, Oedo Tai, who the more I see Oedo Tai, the more I like them. They're like the bad group in Stardom, and Dookie and El Desperado taking on Natsupoi, Tom Nakano, who are both part of Cosmic Angels, and Taichi and Yoshinobu Kanemaru, who are also part of Suzuki Gun, as are Dookie. So we had Suzuki Gun facing Suzuki Gun across, and then you had the rivals in Oedo Tai versus Meltier. It was a fun, interesting match. Taichi ended up getting the win over Dookie. Starlight Kid and El Desperado were kind of paired up. They each wore their masks, like half and half of each other's mask in the match, which was kind of cool. And they were kind of acting like little sister and big brother.
Mhm.
Um, for those of you who don't know, Yoshinobu Kanemaru has like a gimmick where he comes down to the ring with a whiskey bottle and he's always drinking. Like he's supposed to be like half drunk all the
Oh,
time
that
when
guy.
he's
Yeah.
wrestling. And he spits whiskey in people's faces. Well, he handed one of the bottles. He came out with two bottles, gave one to Natsupoi, who also did the trick with the whiskey and spit the whiskey. But she had this look on her face like this was the worst thing she had ever done in her life. And she was like, this tastes like crap. And it was pretty funny. And of course the announcer was going on about these guys can't be corrupting Melt here. This is Melt here. But there were some good spots, especially when Natsupoi was in the ring with Starlight Kid. But it's clear that in a match like this, no one really got a lot of chance to shine either. But I do want to see more of Natsupoi and Starlight Kid. It's watchable, and there's a couple good comedy spots in it. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Utami Hayashishita versus Hiroki Goto and Maika. This was where stuff started to get good. This was the one too where the women did a lot of moves on the guys because the match started with the women and they just missed each other completely and went after the men in the opposite corner. And this kind of stuff didn't stop in this match. They were constantly fighting with the guys in this match, even though they weren't supposed to be. And this was like Hiroshi Tanahashi and stuff, right? So it's pretty cool. You had Mike at one point attack Tanahashi with elbows, and he dropped her with a slap. Yeah, then Goto gives the Ushigoroshi to Tanahashi. Utami hits a sling blade on him. Micah delivers a back suplex to Tanahashi. It was pretty great. Utami hit the Argentine power slam and the hijack bomb, which is her spinning razor's edge on Micah for the win. Good match. I'd recommend it. There was a lot more action. The teams got more into it. Then we had a really good 8-man tag match with, or I guess 10-man tag 9-man because Gideon Gray was in it between Los Ingobernables de Japan, which is Bushi, Hiromi Takahashi, Sanada, Shingo Takagi, and Tetsuya Naito. So you've got like 5 really amazing wrestlers, taking on Francisco Akira, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis, and TJP and Gideon Gray. This was good. There was a lot of fun stuff in this match. Catch 22. That's TJP and Francisco Akira. They're so good. But all of these guys basically are the kind of wrestlers that you and I like to watch, with the exception, of course, of Gideon Gray. But even Gray got a moment to shine. But it was clear they were building up Aussie Open again. They got the win, dropping Bushi, did their double elbows to him, and the Coriolis for the win. They had Great Muta's final New Japan match as well. They had Toriano Kazuchika Okada and the Great Muta taking on Great Okan, Aaron Hanare, and Jeff Cobb. They built up a bit of a feud between the Great Muta and Great Okan for a little while. This match was about what I expected out of this match, right? I mean, this wasn't going to be a flippy dippy, jump around match, but it was cool for what it was. It gave Great Muta his last match in New Japan, right? And he was on the same team as Okada, and when you got like Okada in there with Aaron Hanare, it was pretty good. Okada won with the Rainmaker on Hanare, and Muta, of course, hits Okan with the Shining Wizard after, but he also hit the Red Mist, which is like his worst poisonous evil mist on Great Okan, because he missed with the Green Mist, right? Anyway, so yeah, it was worth watching if you wanted to just see Muta's last match, and that was kind of cool. And then we get into the IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion match. Will Ospreay taking on Shota Umino. Now, the promo video notes the number of upsets that have happened before and asks if this will be one of them. But Ospreay came out in Hayabusa's gear at the blessing of Hayabusa's daughter, so he was dressed very differently than he normally is. Early on, we get an Oz, which to back up a sec, I like that because it looks like he is positioning himself more as a guy carrying on Japanese tradition, which I think might be a conscious attempt to position him for the feud with Kenny Omega. So early on, we get an Oz Cutter attempt blocked, turned into a Death Rider attempt. And after that, a series of counters, move counters. Umino gets a number of good moves on Ospreay early, including a drop kick to the head that sends Ospreay to the floor. Umino hits a running cannonball on the floor that just looked insane. Umino did the hammer and anvil elbows at one point, a callback to his trainer, John Moxley. So you've seen this match, okay?
Yep.
Ospreay escaped, comes back with a springing round kick, sending Umino out of the ring. A huge plancha onto Umino, like right across his shoulders. There was one spot where they traded running spots. Umino sent Ospreay off the ropes, pulls up at Ospreay's counter attempt, delivers an enziguri that sends Ospreay off the ropes, who drops Umino. But Ospreay's follow-up running shooting star press eats knees, leading to Umino hitting a pop-up power bomb. But on the subsequent Irish whip, Ospreay lands a Liger bomb, and both guys are down. I mean, that whole sequence was just nuts. It was a nice Falcon Arrow and Firebird Splash for 2, and the Firebird Splash is a 450. It's Hayabusa's move, so he did a call back to Hayabusa with the move. Match ramped up. You got Oz Cutters blocked, Death Riders blocked, another Oz Cutter that hit for a near fall. Ospreay smashed the back of Umino's head with elbows again, which is a callback to their last match where Red Shoes called it. Umino makes it to the ropes, but Red Shoes still wants to call the match. He's Umino's dad, for those of you who don't know, like in real life. But Umino grabs his leg and gets to his feet screaming. Ospreay thrust kicks him. He gets up again. Another thrust kick. He can barely stand. Ospreay delivers an elbow to the back of his head, setting him up for the hidden blade, but he misses. Umino gets a brief comeback again, a pop-up knee, 2 rolls of the dice, the high and tight for 2, but the Death Rider gets countered, Stormbreaker countered, Ospreay hook kick. I mean, you can get the feeling this match was just like a lot of faster moves there at the end. The follow-up beats an Umino uppercut. Umino does an elevated Death Rider, connects, but the second attempt, there's a pop-up uppercut by Ospreay, hidden blade for a huge near fall, but then another hidden blade, Stormbreaker, and it was just too much. This was a really good match. I would highly recommend it, but you saw it, Krishna. What did you think?
I thought it was great. I mean, I don't really see a lot of Umino, right? I've seen him once, really, on AEW TV, so that was my exposure to him. And I thought I'm trying to remember that match. I was like, yo, this kid is really good. I know Will Ospreay. I know what Will Ospreay is gonna bring, right? Watching this, like the reversals, the counters, like I kept thinking to myself, this is such a good match. That I would really love to see Will Ospreay versus like the entire AEW roster. Like I really want to see him versus like Sammy Guevara, for example, right? Because just there were certain things that he does. I'm like, man, Sammy does like kind of same things, but like Ospreay makes everything look so easy, right? It's like he's not even trying at some points. I'm like, how is this so easy for you? I don't understand this, right? Um, yeah, it's he is I really enjoyed it. Like I knew Ospreay's gonna win this match, but there were certain times I was like, okay, oh my god, like they reversed it. He couldn't get his was it hidden blade on him a couple times. He missed and he kept getting smashed. I was like, okay, he's gonna lose. But yeah, like he wins. I was like, that was a really, 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 really good match, right? It wasn't like, okay, both of these guys are high flyers or anything, but it was fast, hard hitting, and man, did it like it didn't like need time to slow down or didn't slow down at any point, and it was just going at almost breakneck speeds. Even the point where they're like just smashing each other in the face, back and forth and back and forth, like it looked like these guys were hitting each other pretty hard. But no, I thought this match was fantastic.
Welcome to Japan. The match. And you know what's funny? I really like this
Mhm,
match. Highly
mhm,
recommended. People should go
mhm,
out and watch it. Not as
mhm.
good as their first match together.
Oh,
Not in my opinion.
interesting.
This
Okay,
was really
okay,
good, but not as good as their first match. I
okay.
enjoyed that first match more, the one that Red Shoes ended because Ospreay was just pounding the crap out of the back of his head with his elbow.
Mhm,
Um, so yeah, I actually, if I had to rate them, yeah. So I saw this match. I'm like, you guys are holding back a little bit. And I knew why, because there was a main event to follow them. So I got the feeling in this match they didn't quite do as much stuff as they were capable of doing, because I've seen them do stuff that was even more than what they were doing here.
mhm.
Right. Like Osprey didn't do any of his really big aerial spots. He had a
Yep,
couple of them, but he didn't do a
yep,
lot of them. Right. Like he was
yep.
holding
I
back a little
noticed
bit
that.
in this match.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think it's because of their spot on the card. They were giving the respect of the final match. They weren't trying to
Oh,
overshadow it.
makes
Right.
sense.
Because Will Osprey can overshadow anything if he wants to.
Yep,
So, I mean, to me, that also shows that Will Ospreay's matured a lot and is going out for the company, not necessarily for himself.
yep.
Because he and
For
Shoto
sure.
Umino could have stolen the show if they'd wanted to, but they didn't. I
Yep,
mean,
for
though it
sure.
would be pretty hard. Did you watch the last match too?
No, I couldn't watch
Oh,
the
okay.
last match. No.
Cool. Well, the last match was the IWGP Women's Championship match between Kairi and Mayu Iwatani. Um, and the announcers noted at the beginning, she has a real hate on for Kairi, like she's really mad that she left, and they had such a relationship going way back, right? And Mayu offers her hand though to shake at the beginning, and Kairi actually accepts it reluctantly, and so they shake hands to start the match. But Chris Charlton, one of the announcers, noted at that time, and he's like a historian of Japanese wrestling. He said, if it wasn't for Mayu, Kairi, and Io Shirai, there wouldn't be Stardom today. They rose at a time when Stardom was in trouble, right? They're basically like the three musketeers of Stardom. Um,
Mhm.
Iwatani did an insanely fast angled tope to Kairi early on. I mean, the angle she goes out on this thing is just nuts, and followed by a missile drop kick from the top into the ring. She followed soon after with a low angle drop kick into the ropes that just looked like it killed Kairi. Iwatani starts working on Kairi's injured arm, which is part of the story of this match. At one point, they fought on the ramp. Iwatani gets a snapmare and a penalty kick to Kairi's back, but her next run, Kairi drop toe holds her onto the ramp, and like it's the part of the ramp that's angled down, so there was even further for Iwatani to fall. And then she hits her with the sliding D. And then Kyrie connects with the Cutlass back in the ring after they exchange thrust kicks. Mayu laughs and falls down. I mean, we're getting kind of like the Mayu Iwatani, like she has a personality where she almost gets like kind of psycho in the ring,
Mhm.
and that started to
Yeah.
come out of her here, right? So she kind of laughs but falls down. And her spirit becomes another part of this match story. So one spot had Mayo going for the springboard poison Rana that she actually beat Momo Watanabe with in one of the matches leading up to this one on the turnbuckle. But Kyrie catches her, puts her in the tree of row, but Iwatani escapes. She nails a top rope head scissors, followed by a high fly flow for two. The high fly flow, of course, being Tanahashi's finisher. Kyrie landed a massive spear into the turnbuckle. I mean, this was a spear. Edge could learn from this spear. This was nuts. Even the announcement, that was brutal, right?
Yeah.
Because she hit her still about 2 to 3 feet out from the turnbuckle and nailed her into the turnbuckle. And it was just like,
Wow.
holy crap. Right? Then she locks on the anchor, which is essentially a wrenching lion tamer. She like wraps the hands in a certain way, like the legs up in a certain way with her hands, and then puts the person into like this wrench back, kind of like a lion tamer Boston Crab kind of move. It looks painful as hell, but her arm played a role. She couldn't hold on because it was putting too much pressure on her injured arm, and she had to let go of the hold. So she then nails another cutlass, which is the cutlass, by the way, is Eddie Kingston's finishing move. You know,
Okay.
the Hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
So she hits another one of those, which was also a story. She hit a bunch of these in this match, but Iwatani's now laughing in a psycho fashion as she stumbles in the ring. Like she doesn't go down from it. And this becomes the main theme. Now, how many times is Iwatani going to get back up? So Kairi hit her with an Alabama slam that they called a Tokyo slam, but it will forever be the Alabama slam in my mind. Then an elbow drop to Iwatani back from the second rope. She climbs to the top and delivers what is the best elbow drop in professional wrestling right now, the insane elbow, and a huge near fall. Iwatani kicks out of the insane elbow. Kairi is pissed because her elbow is a mess. Like she's using her hurt arm to
Hurt
hit
elbow.
these
Yeah.
elbows, right? And she's just pissed. She's like, what do I have to do? Oh my God, right? And it's like a legitimate one of those spots. You know, a lot of people are like, you know, they do this all the time. Oh, what do I have to do to beat the guy? There was legit here. It was like she kicked out of her finisher and she's a mess. She doesn't know how she's going to act. So she's got to fight through this too, right? So Kairi's pissed. Iwatani's just lying on the ground in pain. Like she's just writhing in pain on the ground. Kairi pulls her up and delivers a series of elbows on the run to her. But then Iwatani catches her suddenly on one of them into a crucifix bomb for a huge near fall. I mean, this was really close. And then Iwatani hits her. This is a bit of a comeback. She hits her with a dragon suplex for two, deep angle full Nelson suplex. But when she landed that suplex, Kairi's legs were in the rope. So the ref couldn't even count the pin on that one. Kairi hits another cutlass in the corner, drops Iwatani like a stone. I mean, she just went face first to the ground. It was almost like a perfect Ric Flair drop to the floor, right? Like she's out cold. She climbs the ropes, insane elbow, 1, 2, 3, and Kairi is your first IWGP Women's Champion. I was actually shocked. I thought they were going to put the belt on Iwatani, and they didn't. But you got this huge emotional spot between Iwatani and Kairi at the end. I mean, they were both just an emotional mess at the end of this match. Deservedly so. It was amazing. This is a highly recommended match. This is just the way these two women worked with each other. This is not going to be like speed move, you know, like lucha things match, but they're fast and they hit hard and they put their hearts into this match. And the moves came out of nowhere. The match was put together brilliantly. There was such a solid story in this match. This match was really good. After the match, Kairi was like, well, who's going to face me now for Wrestle Kingdom? And Tom Nakano answers the challenge. So she came out and accepted the challenge then for Wrestle Kingdom. So at Wrestle Kingdom, we're getting Kairi in her first title defense against Tom Nakano, which should be a hell of a match. But after the press conference, Utami Hayashishita came up to Kairi at the table and was like, yeah, I'm just here to congratulate you. So yeah, how about we fight on December 29th? And so they're having a match, but not for the title on December 29th.
Oh, okay.
She just called it her basically welcome back match or whatever.
Oh, wow. So it's like I'm interested in seeing the next Forbidden Door, Jamie Hayter versus Kairi Sane. I mean,
Oh my
very
God, that would be
interested.
great. Yeah, that
Champ
that
versus
would be
champ,
great.
right? That would be an
Mm-hmm.
awesome match to watch. So yeah,
Well,
no.
any of these women versus Jamie Hayter would be a match to watch. So
And I actually think, if I'm not mistaken, I swear Jamie Hayter and Kairi Sane are actually friends. But that
well,
I'm not really sure on that
Jamie
one. But
Hayter's wrestled in Stardom, so I
exactly,
wouldn't
I
be
think they're
surprised.
friends. Yeah.
Yep.
So like that's you know, Kairi Sane, the first IWGP Women's Champion. Good
Mm-hmm.
on her. Good on
Yep.
her. Like she did so much in WWE and just was such an undercard that they didn't know what to do with her. And that elbow drop, my God, I don't know how she does that elbow
It
drop.
really is insane. P.S. She's dropped the Sane. She made that clear when someone called her Kyrie Sane
Mm.
at one of the Stardom events, and she goes, "It's just Kyrie."
Oh, just Kairi now. Okay. All right. All right.
Yep. She doesn't want her WWE name used.
Okay.
So yes.
Well, get on her. That's
Yep.
good. But yeah, good for her. Good win, I guess I should say.
Yes, exactly. And just a couple more quick updates. The Stardom Tag Tournament in the blue block currently winning it is BMI 2000 with Natsuko Tora and Ruaka representing Oedo Tai. Mai Hime is coming up in second. Mai Hime? Yeah, I guess it would be Mai Hime. Mai Hime. I mean, it's Micah and Himeka, so I guess if you put their names together, Mai Hime. Okay. They're in second with 6 points. On the red block, we got Aphrodite in the league, which is Utami Hayashishita and Saya Kamitani. Not surprising, that is an incredible tag team with 8 points, and Mafia Bella with Julia and Tekla in second place with 6 points. The New Japan Tag League has begun. I will report on that next week. And so that brings us to our matches of the week.
So just quickly before I just tell you my matches of the week, obviously Black Friday's on right now, so a lot of sales on a lot of things.
Yep.
So WWE 2K22 was on sale for $20, so I picked it up on the PS5, and I spent the last like yesterday for like an hour or two just download, because again, I just want to give a quick shout out to the universe. I'm not even calling the WWE universe, the Creator Wrestler universe, because I was able to immediately download Kenny Omega on WWE 2K22 with AEW rings and everything. That was just kind of crazy, right? And his entire, they have the one winged angel in the game. It's absolutely fantastic. He looks amazing. Control is not the best, but I can see myself spending a lot of time just creating wrestlers, and I don't even have to create them. I can just download them now.
Well, now you understand, right? Now you understand. I would also download other people's wrestlers and fix them.
Yeah, that's what I did. I literally downloaded Kenny last night at about 11, and I was up till 1 o'clock in the morning fixing his moveset.
Of course. Oh yeah, the movesets you really got to fix, man. These people are terrible at making their
yeah.
movesets. No one pays attention to the real moves. But anyway,
but anyways,
so that's interesting. That's interesting. Yes, it's gonna tie Jover till Fight Forever comes out.
It is 100%, 100%. So my top matches, I'm gonna go 3-1. So 3, I'm actually gonna give my third match of the week to Umino and Ospreay. Even though it wasn't a standard Ospreay match, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I was on the fence between this and the Jungle Boy match, and at the end of it, I was like, the Jungle Boy match was more of like I don't want to say gimmick match, but it was a steel cage match, right?
Yep.
And I really liked this. And it's a really good story, but I really liked Umino versus Ospreay because it felt new to me. And I just said like welcome to New Japan, right? Felt fresh. So I want to give that number 3. Number 2, Danielson, Castiglione, Guevara, and Jericho. Like, this match was awesome on what was the show we watched just now?
Full Gear.
Yes. Full Gear.
We've seen so many shows.
Yeah, Full Gear. This match was, I didn't know what to think. This match was awesome. It was like, if you can go out, watch this match. It is fantastic. All these guys, right? And Jericho again is becoming the greatest ROH champion ever. So that's a good thing. And last but not least, I mean, come on. Was there really anything that was going to challenge this? The Elite versus Death Triangle. May not have liked the ending, but I love the opening. I love the entrance. I love the match. I love the story it told because it gets continue. So that's my number 1 match of the week. But best promo by far, Kenny Omega is coming back to New Japan. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
Yep. Well, my 3, I'll give you my top 3 as well. Very similar to yours. Number 3, we have Will Ospreay versus Shoto Umino for obvious reasons. Great match. Loved it. Number 2 is Kairi taking on Mayu Iwatani for the IWGP Women's Championship. And number 1, of course, is there ever any doubt, it is Death Triangle taking on the Elite because the boys are back. And that's it. The boys are back.
Agreed.
But sadly, someday soon, they may be facing Crowns Up.
We'll see. And who knows when they'll come back to Canada. Hey, guess what? Hopefully Toronto. Kenny Omega and the Elite are back. It's all.
Oh, there you go. And then we'll never be able to get tickets for that. We'll be even angrier. So yeah, it'll be good times. So do I even need to ask you who your wrestler of the week is?
I mean, you could, but I mean, it's obvious. Can we not give it to 3 wrestlers? At this point, I would even give it to 6.
Well, you could give it to the Elite.
I was thinking about that. I was trying to give it to the Elite altogether, but I guess that doesn't count. But of course, my wrestler of the week is going to be Kenny Omega. There's no, I don't know. You shouldn't even ask that question. Omega wrestler, Omega match. It's just perfect, right? So Kenny Omega, wrestler of the week.
Well, there you go. I'm going to say Kairi.
Ooh.
And I'm going to say that because she pulled out all the stops in that match. Just Amazing match, so emotional, and it's so emotional as champion. She held herself so well. They both were so good in that match. Kairi was just a little bit better. Her emotion was all like so real, and she'll make such a great champion. So, um, good on you, Kairi. I thought that as in terms of an individual performance this week, I think you stood out. So, good job. So those were our wrestlers of the week in a very eventful week of wrestling.
Hmm.
To get that in that week of wrestling, that's a pretty big deal. I do want to give a quick shout out, of course, to Psycho Mike because you made me laugh harder than anyone else this weekend.
That is true. Shout out to our boy Psycho Mike. Like probably one of the most funniest matches we've seen all weekend. Never breaking character, and yeah,
Yep,
absolutely hilarious.
exactly. But for now, it is time to go. And as the great one always says, I was going to do something else, but I'll do it this way.
Good
Goodbye, everybody, and good night. Bang.
night, everyone.
Crowns up.